I actually learned coding on my own. I'm going to be improving myself. Every week I work on a project. You can be feminine and be very intelligent. That's it. Just start it. Hi, my loves. I know you guys are wondering who is this beautiful girl on my timeline. It's actually me. My name is yemisijaiyeoba. I'm a data scientist. I'm a freelancer on Upwork, and I'm also a YouTuber who vlogs her daily life. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I love you guys. Thank you. Anyways, today there's something I actually want to show you guys. But I know you guys are wondering, oh, we're supposed to see a vlog. It's actually supposed to be a vlog. Yes, it's not a vlog, but you get a vlog on Saturday, so watch this one today. Anyway, today we're going to be learning something. There's something I actually thought of and I felt like I should come and share it with you guys, right? So one thing in this life is that life can move very fast, right? But that's when you're intentional about it. But if you're not intentional about it, it can just be, you can just feel very stagnant without even you knowing. And there's one thing I've actually decided that I'm going to be doing right currently is that I'm going to be improving myself, and a way to improve myself is actually working on different projects weekly. Every week I work on a project, machine learning project, deep learning project, whatever project. Every week I work on it and then I post it on my LinkedIn, because you never can know, people will be watching, people looking at, and then your project just gets out there and you get a lot of opportunity. So yes, so if you're someone who is very stagnant or feel very stagnant at this point in time, I can tell you that you need to pick up your pen, pick up your system, pick up everything, and then get up and sit up and start work. Okay, so there's a project I'm working on, like I said, and I want to share it with you guys. It's just on machine learning project, and the title is actually happiness, and it's basically a world happiness analysis that I'm just working on. There are several projects which I have listed out. I have about on different sections, you know, machine learning, deep learning, computer vision. I have them in sections, and I'm going to be working on them every single week, one after the other, you know, making sure that I detail everything and then I put it out there on my LinkedIn. So if you're following me on my LinkedIn, which I'm going to be drop my username here, yeah, you would see the project, and I can tell you that it's something that you're going to learn from. Anyways, I just want to show you the project today, and then you can learn something. Okay, so let's get right into it. Data analysis on World Happiness Day using Python. So the first thing I actually did was that I imported my libraries, and you can see these are the libraries that I'm working with. So it's just an analysis, so you don't need too much of a library. You just need your NumPy, pandas, you just need your matplotlib and your seaborn for visualization, right? Then here I imported my data set. So this is my data set, and then here I was trying to read my data set, where you can see that we have the columns, country name, ladder score, you know, standard error of ladder score, and these are all the column names that I have, as well as yeah. So this is the first 5 data set, and this is what the data set looks like, because you need to know what your data set looks like the moment you import your data set, so that you can know what you're working with. And the next thing I did was that I tried to check in the columns to see, okay, what are we working with? What are the columns we're working with? What you're working with? And I did that, and I went ahead to like give a description of all the column names, because it's just like, it's an analysis, right? So if you're trying to like present this to, you know, or you're trying to explain this to a non, or you're just trying to just, you know, explain what the data set is about to someone else, the person needs to know what exactly you're working with. And I decided to like give a serious definitions of what the column names are. And you can see that the country name, I put the definition, the ladder score actually just happiness level. You see standard error, you see these are everything. So from here you can really now understand what your data is all about, right? Then I went further to try to, you know, visualize the entire columns as the unique values of all the columns. So you can actually do that. You can actually do that individually, right? Like basically not one like that, like single, but I went there to like make sure that I get all the columns entirely just visualized like at the same time. So that's why I have my for columns in df.columns, we have print column, df column, then unique. So it brings out all the unique values in each of the columns we have. So this is for country name, and you can see that this is for ladder score. You see this is for basically this everything, like for the whole columns that we have. So try to look at it and see what we are working with. So it's an analysis. We want to know in depth of what our data set is about. So here I was trying to like check the shape, and I saw that the shape that we have 137 columns and 19 data. This is not a lot of data like that, but you know, yes. So we check the data types, because we need to know the data type we're working with, and we see that everything here is float. And when you actually see that it's displaying float, it just means that there's a decimal, right? It has to do with numbers, maybe like 3.5. There's just a decimal in the figure. So, and that's why it is float. Object means like it is it is in words. I like to say it's in words in the sense that, like, it's basically in words, you see, like it's not value. So, and that's why that object is there. Then we have I went further to check. I went further to check the description to see the total count for each of the um for the figures, right? So it doesn't work with anyone that is actually object, because that has to do with words, it's not figure. So for this summary now, it works with columns that are only figures, and that's the reason why you can see count. So you try to see that in the ladder score now, for the count we have 137, which you can know that that's the total number of data that we have. That's rules that we have. It calculates the mean, and then it calculates the standard deviation, it gives us calculate the minimum 25%, 50%, 75%, and maximum for the entire columns that has to do with integer, that's value, right? Then we went further to check for duplicates, and I found that there's no duplicate at all. I went further to also now check if there was missing value, and I found missing values in healthy life expectancy, right? I also found missing values in dystopia plus residual, right? I found missing values there too as well. I went further to go and check if I could drop the missing values, because when you have missing values, you need to there are ways you can actually handle your missing values, right? It's either like you find the main, you find the media, it's either you drop it. To drop df the drop na, so I dropped the missing values and I tried to check again, and I found out that there's no missing values again. You can see from here there's no missing values at all. Then I went further um get some questions. I have over 18 questions, which I really want to carry out an analysis of that, because that's one thing you should, when you're carrying out an analysis, is basically like trying to know in depth of what the data is about, like what exactly you want to achieve, what you want to know from the data. And these are the questions I've listed out. So you can just check my LinkedIn. I'm going to post this on my LinkedIn, so you can check it. I can start reading the questions, but then I would answer some of them. So for you, like, but you can go check it out and really look at the entire thing that I've done. So data group, we have country name, we have ladder score. I'm trying to group by to just see. So you see by country name, Afghanistan, we have this. So this seems to be like the finding the mean. This seems to be the least Afghanistan's, right? And then like the Finland is actually the highest, right? So I grouped by also for here and healthy life expectancy. You can see that this is the highest, has the lowest healthy life expectancy. So like the way they live their life, they have been held, like you can see is the least, and then Hong Kong seems to be the highest, right? Their healthy life expectancy. Then also here, country name by freedom to make life choices. Like some countries have so much freedom to make your life choice. Some countries that, so from here you can see it, Afghanistan seems to be the least too as well, and then Finland also. And I can tell you that freedom to make life choices, like you can see that it's Afghanistan and Finland that is so it's the same thing here with their, also related with their happiness, because if you can make your life choices, you can make what you want, obviously it contributes to your happiness. If someone is restricting you from being happy and everything, then your happiness will just go down. And so that's the reason why you see that also in Afghanistan it's the least here, and Finland is more, because I mean, Finland being more, you can tell that they really really make their life choices. So we go down here to also trying to so yeah, here I'm also trying to group by. I also see country name with the ladder GDP per capita. So this has to do with their money, right? So I have a definition in this place here. I go back and then see it here. It has to do with the country's wealth level. So the level of wealth, right? And then if you're now looking at the explained GDP, is how much wealth contributes to happiness. So when you hear that GDP, it has to do with wealth, it has to just do with money. So here we can see that I was trying to like check the country name and then their GDP and then how happy they are. So to see how they are related, and in the sense that you see Nepal, Nepal has, you see this 8.2, and then it can tell you how happy they really are. So the happiness is actually ranked from highest to lowest, right? So you can see the least happy also they have a high, not so high like that, but basically Afghanistan, they have money, right? Their money level, it seems to be a bit high, because it seems to be the highest, 8 point something. So but the happiness level is really down. So that means other factors are really affecting the reason why they are not so happy like that in the country. So GDP group, and we have here, I was also trying to the same thing. So basically this one groups by 8 to 9, this one groups by 5 down to 8. So it's just in different levels. So you can be able to see how well, the happiness level correlates with their wealth in their country. So here also now I now went ahead to actually visualize country by generosity, explain generosity. So let's go back to me telling you explain generosity. First of all, generosity has, what is generosity? How willing people are, to help people, how willing they are to help people. So explained by generosity is how much kindness contributes to happiness. So how much kindness contributes to, if someone is so kind to you, does that mean that you'll be happy? If someone is so kind to you in the country, does that mean that it increases your level of happiness? You can be kind to me and I'll be happy, honestly. But other things are affecting. Like I can't make life choices. I can't, my health is this, my health is, you understand? So there are other factors that will definitely affect that. So you can see from here now, I was trying to like visualize, explain generosity with the country name, and you can see Georgia does not even have the list at all. And then from here we have, so actually this is like the 10. So I'm very sure that there's more, you know. Yeah, so but this is the list 10, and you can see Romania is even more compared to, so this is the list 10. And then here is the um from the highest to the lowest. That's Indonesia, right? Seems to be the highest. Basically, Indonesia seems to be the highest in um explain generosity, right, by their country, right? So meaning like the way they reached, the way literally the country Indonesia is has the highest um what's it called, generosity, should I say. Yes, they are just being generous in their country and stuff. So anyways, let's go down to okay, I was trying to check the correlation between these. So these are all our data, the entire thing except the country name. Like I said, when you're having to, when you're trying to do a correlation, it only picks out the integers, it doesn't pick out the um objects, right? So these are integers. So you can see there's a correlation ladder, there's a correlation. So you can see ladder with so when you go down, ladder with standard error, ladder score, you can see that it's 0.5. So there's least correlation. Ladder with you go down and see ladder with ladder, you can see that it is has a strong correlation. So let's see this one, ladder with upper whisker, right? You can see that there's also a correlation between that. So basically, the higher you go, that's the more deeper the red is, the more correlated it is, and the less it is, that's the blue colors is going down. You can see even from the value, the less correlated it is, right? So I went ahead to actually do a scattered plot too as well for GDP per capita by happiness. Like I've told you, GDP has to do with like the money, right? The richness of the country and everything, by the ladder score, which is happiness, right? And you can see that it is tilted. There's more, they are more correlated in this, like the higher. So meaning like the the higher the GDP, that's the country's wealth, right? The higher the ladder score, and that's why they are tilted down to this side, because you can see that it's down between 6, 7, like that, down to 8, and then you can see it's higher in this side too, 1.5, 2.0. So you can tell that, and you can say that the higher the wealth, there's money in the country. Why shouldn't we be happy? Right? So let's go down to, I even went down to this place to also visualize countries with happiness despite low GDP. So the country that has very low wealth, their wealth is not as high as that, but let's see if they are still happy, right? And you can see that there's some countries that actually have low GDP, their money no plenty like that, but they are still happy. So there are other factors that are probably affecting it to the reason why they're happy. It can be that I have freedom. Like if you give me freedom, I think that's one thing. If I have freedom to do this, freedom to do that, I have good health, I have everything. Like, you understand? It will make me happy, right? Even though like money is also like necessary, but those are things that will also make me happy. So you can tell that some other factors are the reason why um this is actually this way. So I went down to actually now check the GDP versus happiness, and then social support versus happiness. That's like the GDP now, like I said, the wealth of the country versus happiness, how happy they are based off if their country is wealthy, and then social support versus happiness. So when there's social support, let's see what definition of social support in this place so that you guys can know. It's how much people feel they have friends or family. Like in the country now, how well I know this person, I know this person in terms of help, in terms of need, this person can, help me out and stuff like that. So I try to now check out to see the social support versus happiness, and then the money versus happiness. And you can tell that the social support versus happiness is high because If I have people in the country, I don't see reason why I would suffer, right? Yes. So I went down also to now check freedom to make life choice versus happiness. How I can make life choices. You're not coming to come and tell me what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. And how well can it be make me happy? So you can see that freedom to make life choices, as the higher it goes up, the more happiness it is. So that is also a good thing. So I now came down to also now check for perception of corruption versus happiness. Let's check what perception of corruption is. Perception of corruption, right? How corrupt people think their government is. So how well do you think that this government is just doing us anyhow? How corrupt this is? So you can see that it's going down. So in the sense that the higher the corruption, right, actually the lower the happiness, because if there's corruption in the country, I mean everybody will just be, not happy. And you can see that the correlation is 0.47, which is very, very low. So just to tell you that once a country is corrupt, everybody is not happy, because different thing will just be happening, and everybody will not, the government will not even care. So healthy life expectancies versus happiness, right? You can see that I also went ahead to visualize healthy life expectancy, how healthy you are and how happy it's going to make you. You can see that the higher the healthy life expectancy, I'm feeling really good. Obviously, I'm going to be happy. If you are sick, you're not going to be happy, because you're going to be like, where will this lead me to, and everything. So I went down to also now check the top 10 countries and the bottom 10 countries, right? Based of happiness. That's the 10 happiest countries and the least 10 happiest countries. So the top 10 happiest country, you can see that Finland is the happiest country. Wow. Finland, you guys are happy. Do you guys have a lot of money? Do you guys have, I mean, like a lot of things, a lot of factors would be the reasons why, you guys are really happy. So in a country like Finland, has they're the happiest country. That's beautiful. I'd like to visit such country. Anybody that is watching this video, you guys should come and sponsor my trip to Finland. Anyways, bottom 10 happiest country, right? Afghanistan. Honestly, Afghanistan, you guys are going through a lot. You can see that the difference is very clear. It's even with Lebanon, like the difference between Afghanistan and Lebanon, the difference seems to be a lot. Not so much like that, but difference is clear. Afghanistan. Uh my heart goes to you guys. I hope you guys be happy. Okay. Yeah. So I went down to now also check on to see that the what's it called, the country's wealth based off with happiness. I was just checking that, and I saw that this 76 Bulgaria. Bulgaria, and then 135 is Lebanon. So it's basically LGPA. I was trying to find the mean, and then you can see that Lebanon seems to be higher. So comparing groups across variables as well. So I went here to visualize, and I was trying to check comparing the groups of the top happiest country to the bottom least happiest country. And based off these factors, right? That's their what's it called, their wealth, their social support, their health, life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, and perception of corruption. I was just trying to use this factor to know, because like I said, if social life support, or let's say if freedom to make life choices, right, is high, and happiness, or let's say, no, let's use this one as example, LGDPA capital, they have small money but they're happy in their country, it means that probably other factors are the reason why they're happy. It's not just about money. Other things, maybe their health, life expectancies, their freedom to make life choices, their social support is very high, and that's the reason why the country is high, even if money is not really, really available like that. So I was trying to check the factors, and then here you can see that the large, that's their wealth, country's wealth. You can see based off the top happiest country, like they are the highest, like top happiest country, and then least bottom countries. You can see their social support too as well. That you can't compare it with money, but you can still see that top happiest countries and least happiest countries. So I was just trying to check it based off this, and then I now went further to now try to see. Oh yeah, now let's see region map: European, African, Asian, American, and Ocean. I think that's what it's called. Ocean. Yeah. So I was trying to see right, how happy European countries are, they really happy compared to African countries, compared to Asian countries, compared to American countries, just to see how well they, and I visualize it and see that African countries, Africa, people are not happy. Africa, what's going on? A lot is going on. The difference is really clear. You can see based off like this green one, which is healthy life expectancies. Africa seems to have the least. African have the least. Yes, and then Americans not even so high like that. European and Oceania, Ocean, right? They seem to even have the highest compared to American, then Asian too. And then um you can just tell that even in other aspects also, Africa seems to be the least. In European countries, you can see that the perception of corruption is the least compared to even the freedom to make life choices. And in Ocean self, I can't really even see their perception to make corruption, and that's the reason why, So that's just it me trying to and then compare to see, okay, let's even see Africans, Americans, Asians, European, Asians, Oceans, how well they are doing based off their regions. So I now went for that also now to go to check on what's it called? Generosity versus wealth. And you can see that generosity versus wealth, yeah, so it's their higher GDP, and then generosity seems to be very low, right? So generosity by its wealth is that the higher the money they have, the more generous people are. People, when they see money, they don't want to share, they don't want to help. But yeah, that's what this is just really telling. So you can see that there's some countries that the higher the GDP, they lower the generosity in the country. So, which has the strongest relationship with happiness, freedom, or health? So, it's the freedom to make life choices versus how happy they are, and health, life expectancies versus how happy they are. And you can see that it is actually healthy life expectancies versus how happy. Because health, I mean, health is, how will I put it? Health is life, has to do with just life. So that's it's when you are really, even if you're not healthy now and they are giving you freedom to make life choices, I don't think that reason why you won't be happy, because first of all, when there's life, there's hope. You understand? So I now went for that to also now do this last visualization where I say what defines a happy country beyond money. There are other things that would definitely be the reason why a country will be happy. It's not just about money. But you can see that the highest is money. Because once there's money in the country, things will be going very well. I mean, everything will just be looking very luxurious and really good. But if there's no money, then there's a problem. So social support is next, seems to be the highest, because if you have people in the family, I mean, you have people like you can rely on and stuff like that. That should be the reason why a country will also, be happy, because everybody's happy. They have, like, family, friends around and stuff like that. Explained by freedom to make life choices as well. You can see next, and then life experience. And then perception to corruption should be is the least, even with generosity, on why a country be happy beyond money. This one, country no go happy. Oh. Anyways, these are questions I'll just pick, like, you guys can check my, what's it called? I've not even answered this question too, but I'll make sure I answer it before I post it. So you guys will check my LinkedIn for this post. If I've not posted it by then, please, I'll let you guys know in the community chat that I have posted it yet, because I need to adjust this before I post it. But yeah, watch out for it on my LinkedIn. Anyways, so I'll just pick like a few questions and I'll answer. So let's see. Let me just pick number 3 and see which countries achieve highest happiness despite low GDP. I guess we have probably answered this. So these are countries that high GDP. I think the one we talked about was high GDP, sorry, was, yeah, high GDP and less happiness. So this was actually high happiness despite low. Is this what we answered? I can't remember if that was answered in the visualization, sha. But another question that I will say is that, does perception of corruption reduce happiness? Right, so that's just corruption. There's a negative relationship between perception of corruption and happiness. As people's perception of corruption increases, right, their happiness tends to decrease. If they are thinking everything's corrupt, everything, obviously their happiness would decrease. So let's go to answering this. Why do some countries perform better than expected? Some countries perform better than others because factors like strong social support, freedom, good health, safety, culture, and community happiness increases people's lives satisfaction, even if the country is not very wealthy. So you can see that's an answer. And then does freedom matter more than health in determining happiness? More than health. Like I said, health is the main thing, right? Happiness appears to be matter more because there's a stronger perspective relationship between healthy life expectancy and happiness. So that's the entire thing that I've just covered, and I'll be posting to my LinkedIn. There are other projects that I'm working on, which I said I'm going to be working weekly. So I would also be doing this like weekly. So you guys should watch out to time where I'll explain every project that I'm going to work on. Right? By next week I'll post another project that I'm working on. But yes, if you really want to see this, you can get it from my YouTube, and yeah, everything. You can just get the PDF from my, I said YouTube. You can get the PDF from my LinkedIn, and yeah. So I hope you guys have learned something. Hi, I'm back on your screen, and I just want to ask if you guys have really learned something from that project. I'm very sure you guys have learned something. Okay, yeah. So I just want to say that I actually learned coding on my own, right? I learned coding on my own. I learned how to code, machine learning, data analysis. I learned it on my own. And then even my master's project, which I worked on, I actually did my code myself. I told myself, I said, at this point, you will do your work yourself. You will do it yourself. You will learn yourself. You improve it. You use this project to improve. And that was how I was able to learn machine learning, learn data analysis. And here I am today, and I'm still learning. Learning never ends. So never you think that you need to be in a perfect position for you to actually start learning something. So if it's YouTube, you're trying to learn, you're trying to start it. If you're trying to learn a course, start it. If you're trying to learn something else, start it. If you're confused, start learning. If you feel like what you're going to learn is not going to, start it. Just start it. Trust me, when you start, you would see that you're not going to be where you are before. You're going to learn something a lot, and it's really going to help you. Okay, so I just want to say to all my girlies out there, right, you can be feminine and be very intelligent. You can be very beautiful and still have and build a skill. Okay, you can live soft life. Yes, you can live soft life and still secure the bag, because that's very important. Trust me, you can still secure that. Don't feel like, oh no, I don't want to learn this. Learn whatever you feel like you're learning. It may not be in tech, it may be in other fields, but make sure that you are trying to learn something. You see, as for me, I felt like I'm very busy. I have a lot of things to do. I have research and writing. I have a job on Upwork that I'm actually currently working on. But I told myself that, you see, what is going to improve me, what's going to make me out there, I will not stop learning. And that's why I said every single week I'm going to be dropping a project on my LinkedIn to just shoot. Not like I'm just dropping it because I want people to see, but I'm learning something, I'm jotting them down, I'm putting comments, I'm just, making sure that when I come back to that video, I can easily just, understand it, and then, know what I have done. And that's the reason why I'm saying that whatever you're trying to learn, start it. Just start it now. That's just the honest truth. Just start it now. So if you don't have a skill right now, as I'm talking to you, go and pick a skill. Pick something that you want to learn and start it immediately. If you have been delaying, start today. Start today, because if you say you're starting tomorrow, procrastination is something that's very terrible. So just start. And let me tell you something. Your future can change due to just one decision. It's one decision. When you start something, your future can change due to that decision you have made on starting whatever you want to learn. So please, if you're out there, make sure that you are looking for one or two things that you're learning and improving on yourself. So I'd like you guys to comment and just tell me what project you're working on, or what skills you're actually trying to learn, or what skills you are looking forward to learning. You just can't tell. You might see someone who's also learning that, and you guys can collaborate, and you guys can work together, and you guys can improve your skills. Okay, so if you want more motivation, subscribe to this channel, and trust me, you're not just going to be watching the whole soft life thing. You're going to be learning. You will learn a lot. You cannot be in my community and not really learn anything. So yeah, I just thought to share this with you and just tell somebody today that whatever you feel like, or you dreamt of, or you've thought of learning, just go ahead and learn that thing immediately, like now. Don't even wait for a second. As I'm talking to you right now, just go and pick up whatever you're supposed to pick up and check that thing you want to learn, and give yourself time, because that's one very important thing I like to do, is that give yourself timeline. Within so time I want to learn this, within so times I'm going to improve on this, and that's going to really help. Anyways, I just hope you guys have learned one or two things, and yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in my next video. On Saturday, going to be a vlog, so don't miss it. It's going to be a very, very interesting vlog. Okay, bye.